Svet je poludeo za AI chatovima koji su najnoviji trend u veštačkoj inteligenciji. Ipak veštačka inteligencija već se primenjuje mnogo godina u raznim naukama, a jedan od eksperata sa kojima razgovaram je Shroff sa Ohio State univerziteta. Mr. Shroff, thank you very much for speaking to N1.
Thank you for having me.
And let's start with this. How different is AI on which you work on and AI that we generally see in media, which is usually, in the last months, AI chats?
Yeah, so, if you look at what has happened recently, there has been a lot of recent interest on things called large language models like GPT-3 or its variant, ChatGPT. And what this can do is it can basically produce really fluent text by accumulating data from billions and billions of books and websites, etc. And essentially, the main idea behind a lot of these tools is they're trained to predict the next most appropriate word or sentence based on the context of the given text. So, for example, in my work, while I have not worked specifically on these large language models like GPT-3, we do a lot of work on the underlying machine learning techniques that really drive these products. These are things like deep neural networks and transformers that are used to make these predictions, or things like reinforcement learning, which is used to sort of provide course corrections in the system to kind of come to a good outcome. So there is quite a bit of similarity in the foundational work, although I myself don't work or have not in the past worked on these large language models.
And how can we explain in the simplest way what is that you do, and how does AI that you produce, that you make, work?
Right. So in the simplest possible language, a lot of the AI that we do is used to make predictions, is used to make better control decisions. So, for example, some of the AI that we do can be used for developing self-driving car technology and make sure that the cars, make the right decisions. They can distinguish between a human and an inanimate object. They can, make changes to the speed, make appropriate turns, left, right, etc. When need be. So essentially, a lot of what we do is in the space of prediction and decision making.
And of course,
this could also enable robots and to interact with each other. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah.
There are a lot of critics in the last couple of months, especially for the GPT, but for AI in general, that it can be used for disinformation, information warfare. Is that situation that serious?
Unfortunately, it can be. Right. So like any technology, AI is a fantastic technology. It is one of the most transformative technologies of our lives. It can be used for great societal benefits in terms of, predicting diseases, providing, treatment plans, things like that. But at the same time, it could also be used to sort of inflict great harm. So one of the ones that you've correctly identified is that these large language models like ChatGPT can potentially generate, fabricated information far faster than humans can. In the future, you can imagine that AI technologies could create virtually undetectable videos of people saying things that they haven't really said. So there is a potential for harm in that way. There is also potential for harm because it really is a technology that can potentially transform a very large fraction of the workforce, which could lead to huge job losses and really significant societal disruption.
You are directing AI Edge Institute, and in one of your interviews, I saw that you mentioned that AI Edge will democratize artificial intelligence. Can you explain us how?
Yes. So one of the goals of AI Edge is to enable distributed AI so that end users such as you and me don't need to purchase very expensive time on, say, a cloud computer or a supercomputer in order to solve their AI problems. So it sort of allows even ordinary users access to technology that otherwise right now only the very rich or big companies like Facebook and Google can afford.
And how do you see the reaction of the people to artificial intelligence when you speak to regular people? How do they react on what you do, for instance?
So I think it's there is surprise. I mean, people are sort of certainly very impressed with with things that, say, ChatGPT can do and other AI technologies can do. Some people are very concerned that this is just yet one more technology that may, take away their jobs. So I would say that it's met with a certain degree of, fascination and also a healthy amount of skepticism.
And do you think that artificial intelligence could become more analytic and more creative than humans?
This is sort of the the $1 trillion question, right? I mean, we really don't know at the moment. I think currently I see that AI is doing a lot of specific things that are potentially better than humans. For example, there is a product called DALL-E, which is also created by the same organization that's created ChatGPT, that can draw and paint much better than I can. All right. But we are still very far away from, say, a general intelligent and sentient AI. Although, there are people that are working on that. That's not to say that it can never happen, but certainly I personally believe that it would require breakthroughs that are well beyond making these systems just larger and better. So we need to do much more than just making these neural networks bigger and deeper and so on in order to solve the problems. We need substantially new breakthroughs to make that happen. And we are not there yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned GPT, so I'll come back to that again. Some apps like Viber, which is the most popular messenger here in Serbia, introduced AI chats. Do you think it could impact the social and, let's say, emotional life of people?
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm the best qualified person to answer this question because I'm not a psychologist, but I suppose as a parent, if these AI chats start to replace human interaction, then it can cause serious problems in society. So I think there need to be guardrails on this, especially for young children and teenagers.
And it also means that we have to rely on the, let's say, ethical principles of the people who create artificial intelligence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mr. Shroff, thank you very much for speaking to N1.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.